Hi, I'm John Hayes. I'm a bankruptcy specialist certified by the California State Bar Association. I'm a partner in the firm of Resnick Hayes Maradi in the San Fernando Valley of Southern California. I thought today I would talk about this person whom we call who is the Chapter 7 trustee. There's almost no discussion you can have about Chapter 7 that doesn't involve usually the trustee. What's he doing? What's he supposed to do? How is he going to handle certain things? How does it really work with this person called the Chapter 7 trustee? Does the trustee have a boss who oversees what this person does? So that's what I thought I would talk about for a few minutes today. In the bankruptcy world, we have this agency called the Office of the United States Trustee. In the Central District of California, the US Trustee or the Assistant US Trustee is Peter Anderson. Peter has been the US Trustee here for 10 or 12, maybe even 14 years by now. He's a great guy. It's a fairly big organization, and he oversees it. I've done programs with him. He's a great guy. He does his job. He takes it seriously. He really wants things to work. His office, really sort of meaning him, picks the Chapter 7 trustees. And what they've done, what Peter has done, is he's created a panel. And there's, I believe, about 35 trustees on the panel. So when a Chapter 7 is filed, one of those 35 trustees is appointed. And it depends a little bit on what area of the Central District that Chapter 7 is filed in. In downtown Los Angeles, there's about 20 trustees, I believe, 22, 24. In the San Fernando Valley, there's 5 or 6. So who is this person? Well, far and away, most of them are bankruptcy lawyers. They are not government employees. They are attorneys who, I would say about half of them work for a bankruptcy firm, usually partners in a bankruptcy firm. Roughly half of them, I would say, are probably independent. They work by themselves, or they have their own law firm. The point of that is that they, have a full-time job besides being a Chapter 7 trustee. So the rest of them are accountants. There may be a financial advisor in there somewhere. So the Chapter 7 trustee makes $60 per case, and they get, these days at least, being the second half of 2020, each trustee gets about 60 cases a month. In the Southern District of California in 2020, it looks like we're going to have around 24,000 cases altogether. So if you take 35 trustees divided by 24,000, it's around 60. I remember in the early 2000s, I used to tell people the trustees get about 200 cases each per month. Nowadays, it's around 60 or so. So the trustee makes $60 per case, plus a little bitty percentage of money that he actually gives to creditors. All right, so, and I've mentioned before on several other sessions that literally 97% of all cases are no asset cases. That means there's nothing for the trustee to sell. There really isn't much for the trustee to even do. And the trustee makes $60. He looks at the paperwork, he does some independent investigation. He probably gets a lot of phone calls. Each trustee has a person they call their administrator who takes the phone calls, and creditors calling saying, when am I going to get my money, or telling the trustee that the debtor is a crook. So the trustee has to handle all those. So the trustee reviews the paperwork and conducts the first meeting of creditors. And I think next week, I'm going to talk with one of our associates in our firm and talk about exactly what happens at the meeting of creditors. But the meeting is held by the trustee. These days, again, for the second half of 2020, those quote unquote meetings have been by Zoom. The trustee asks a few questions, and the trustee is looking to see if there's any assets that he can sell. And when there's no assets, the trustee files a form called a no asset report. And a couple of months after that, the case is closed. So, who oversees this person? Is anybody watching, this guy or this woman? I believe I don't know what the mix is between men and women being trustees, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty close to half and half. All right, so again, Peter Anderson, he's the US Trustee in the Central District of California. He has 7 or 8 full-time staff attorneys. They are not trustees themselves, although they're confused a lot. People will call the attorney the trustee. He's just an employee of the US Trustee's office. The US Trustee's office, besides choosing the panel of trustees, they also oversee the trustees. The trustees have to file reports with the US Trustee explaining how many cases they got, how many cases had property that they sold, and most importantly, if they haven't filed a no asset report, that means they're doing something. And what are they doing? They have to report to the US Trustee's office what they're doing. If they find something to sell, they have to file a motion asking the court to approve the sale, but they present it to the US Trustee's office first, and one of the staff attorneys usually will ask, well, why? How's this going? And the trustees are graded, as I understand it, by the US Trustee's office, and trustees are fired. They're the 35 that we have today, 35. I believe most of them have been there for at least several years. Many of them have been there for a long time. But, trustees get fired. When the US Trustee believes that they're either maybe they're being too aggressive, or they're not spending enough time on each one of their cases, the US Trustee fires them. All right, so that's if you want to again know a little bit more about it, what are their names? What are the 35 trustees' names in the Central District do a search, do a search on the internet and type in UST. That's United States Trustee. UST Region 16. That's our region. If you click around there, you can get the names of the staff attorneys and their phone numbers. You can, I think Peter Anderson's phone number is on there. The paralegals that work for the US Trustee's office, they have a very nice website. If you have any questions about this, you know, put them in the comments. And there's a little subscribe button. I'm trying to do one of these every week. I'm going to teach bankruptcy again this coming semester at the University of West Los Angeles. So I'm going to do these a little bit more in detail for my students. But our firm is Resnick Hayes Maradi. Our website is rhmfirm.com. Our office number is 818-285-0100. My partners, Matt Resnick and Roxana Maradi Brovia, are also certified bankruptcy specialists. We have 7 lawyers. We do a lot of bankruptcy work. Feel free to call us. Put comments on the in the section below on YouTube, and I'll look at them and respond. So thank you for listening.